So how many days ago, here's a question to my viewers, how many days ago did they make that buffalo kill? It would have been 3, because Tara was driving in the evening yesterday, and me, so it would have been 3 nights ago. So this is the 4th day, if I'm not mistaken. The 3rd day. Very hard for us to keep track of time in the bush. But the other morning on Mbubu Road, I was saying that it looks like she was losing interest. She was getting a little bit irritable with him. She was snapping at him when he tried to cover her, and I was thinking that maybe it was coming to the end of their mating session, their mating period. And obviously I was wrong. And the fact that they're still lying together means that they probably are still busy. He's still busy. Joanne was saying on the 20th of the 1st. It doesn't really help me because I don't know what day it is today. 23rd today. Okay. So it's 3 days. That was days. Okay. Still, it's all about observing and learning. So on average, that's 2 to 3 days. But I've seen lions mating for up to 5, 6 days up in Salou. Hard to keep track of time when you don't have. When you work your 5-day week, 5 or 6-day week, and you have a break on a weekend, just have every day the same. So yes, this would be the 3rd day that these lions are mating, the 3rd night. And as long as they stick around, we'll be able to observe. Hello, Ellen. No, I didn't think you had school today. And Ellen wanting to know how long after this mating session will the cubs be born? And will they stay together till then? Ellen, gestation is about 100 days. Just over 3 months. And I can't tell you whether they'll stay together, because in some prides they do, in some prides they don't. We've known these Kojima males to be separate from the Kahumas. Who knows? Could be that now they're staying with them. The pride, you see, it's not really... Sorry, Mr. Lion, I woke you up. I must talk softer. I can't really answer that question because it's a yes or no answer. There are going to be times that they'll be together and there'll be times that they're not together. What will happen? Whether these males are going to stay with the females or rather stay within close contact with the Kahumas and become a proper pride, or whether they're going to go back to their nomadic ways. I think there's a strong possibility they would. Now that they've sired the other two cubs that we see, I don't know where Snaggletooth is with her youngsters. But a, a, an answer is not really easy. Also, different lion behave differently, and then again, even the same lion will do different things. So that there's nothing that is so root. At the time of birth, the female will be separate from. She'll leave the group and she'll go off and have her cubs apart from the group, and she'll bring them into the pride after a few weeks. Of being under, if you could call it, there are constantly periods when they're with the males and periods that it's more when the cubs are being weaned. They would spend more time away from the males, maybe. And one of the reasons for that is because the males dominated the kills. This has happened in different places, where I've found lionesses will make a kill and they'll let the male or males come in and dominate. And they'll try their best to avoid the males. I've seen a male lion that on one kill, but there's nothing that is you can't, because they're not guided by instinct of set rules. Oh, he's hugging himself. Yeah, that's quite cute. Okay, didn't like me calling him cute. Gosh, Laurie, that's quite a question. Laurie is asking, why do lions stay in a group? And wouldn't it be more feasible for leopard and cheetah to stay in a group? Gosh. Habitat that they prefer. Cheetah do sometimes hunt in groups, family groups. You might find young males that when they leave their mother, you get a band of brothers like we've had come through here. They'll stay together and hunt together, sometimes even help each other in the hunt. Leopard, on the other hand, leopard live in thick bush. They tend to like thicket. They're just a solitary cat. They're not the... Gosh, I wish I could figure a way of answering this for you. I could just say it's just because. Like many other animals that live in a denser environment, need to live a more solitary life because it is impractical to live in a group in denser habitats. That is why things like bushbuck and black rhino and bush pigs and leopards and I'm trying to think of something else that live in denser wooded areas, why they're more solitary than the animals that live out in the open that are more social, because they can afford to be more social in a more open environment. Cheetah kind of in between, because they live in they'll stay in their family group and they do associate with each other into adulthood. Another reason is perhaps, nature has to divide things up, otherwise competition with methods and different lifestyles. Because they're hunting the same prey species, we're starting to get rain. It's only when animals live in such different niches that they don't need to vary that much. And animals that have managed to find themselves a niche that is so unique that they cannot be ousted out of that niche by any other animal, because they've evolved with that niche, with that life. Example, or that if one was to, well, they're so linked. When it comes to predators, they're all hunting the same animals. So if they were all to live the same way and live in, too difficult for the environment to cope with it. And one of the things that nature has done is it's divided up different habitats and different amount of pressure on the prey species, but it limits the amount of competition amongst the species. In other